Welcome to Podgorica, here before the local elections of Podgorica. I was passing here yesterday through this demonstration or manifestation of the opposition, pro-Serbian opposition, and I showed you some of the photos. It was down there, and here they had a big poster, and it was a very dramatic event with a lot of fireworks and a lot of nationalistic slogans, Srpski, Srpski, Naroda, and it was very disturbing for me, because I don't like this kind of ethnic-based hatred and populism at all. Yeah? I think political parties in modern Europe should not be based on ethnicity and not somehow on the past. Yeah? It's very disturbing, and I really didn't like it. Yeah? Because why it reminded me, because I'm from Austria, it reminded me Austria-German relation is also very complicated, similar like Montenegro and Serbian relation. And then I thought, what is happening if some movement in the 1960s in Austria is promoting Anschluss again? Yeah? And it was really, for me, very similar, because all the symbols were from the neighboring state, all the shouting was from the neighboring nationality. And of course, you can also say that the Austrians are Germans, and many people in the 1960s maybe still said that. Today, nobody says that anymore, and it's normal that we are our own state with our own nationality. But here, this kind of attack on Montenegro and the claim, yeah, you must be Serb, and then to make a political movement out of it. It's very divisive. It's probably funded by Russia and Serbia, and it's very destructive for the Montenegrin state and identity. And it's very disturbing. And of course, it's part of the major rollback effort, which is now done by Russia and Serbia against the progress of NATO and EU membership in the Southern Balkans. And of course, that's the strategy here and that's I'm very much opposed. Yeah? The Montenegrin identity is strong. It was an independent state already from 1878. Yeah? It had 40 years of existence. It was then occupied by Austria, and it was a disaster. I sent many apologizes already for that. And then later, obviously, it was directly swallowed by Serbia with the help of the French in the Paris agreements because of the question of Serbian sea access. And the Montenegrins have fought for their freedom until 26, and they were suppressed militarily, subdued brutally, and then they were always happy for their own statehood, and they have their own identity, and then to somehow attack this identity, and it's very disturbing. I said already a long time, we need also to support the development of Montenegrin autocephalous church, and also much more to support Montenegro as the role model for a European state here in the Balkans, with the Euro, with NATO, with fast-track EU accession, as an alternative to Serbia, which is tilting and pivoting ever more towards Russia. That's the reality, and that's very disturbing, and that's why I call very much for the election of the mayor of Podgorica here again for the mayor election this week, but also then to work much harder and much faster to bring this country into the European Union. And this kind of ethno-nationalistic movement which they have in Kosovo, Bosnia and in Montenegro, to somehow draw back time and bring back time of some kind of Serbian, Greater Serbia, it's very deeply problematic. And I'm very much, it's a beautiful country, but it's very divided now. And that's something, I think the project 2024, that means the EU accession of Montenegro, is something that should be absolutely supported, because we have to bring the people away from this internal divisiveness, and also the political elite to focus them on the possibility and on the prospect of joining the European Union. This is what should be the number one priority, and this will focus the hearts and minds of the people, and that's very important. So yesterday evening was quite a show of nationalistic fervor, and it happened down there. I showed it on my Twitter account, and it was wild. But it's very beautiful. That's the hotel where I stayed. Very good. And this is the castle guarding this river, and this was the meeting place yesterday. Very beautiful everything. But this idea, what I also see on my Twitter feed, a lot of people posting Montenegro is Serbia and will be returned, and so this kind of thinking is absolutely destructive. You know, they want to take over an independent state, a NATO ally. You know, I can just be surprised, and negatively surprised indeed, by such a measure. Anyhow, I'm calling for peace, unity and strength in Europe, by more unity, and Montenegro in the European Union as the next country, 28th country. It's absolutely possible, it's doable, it's achievable, and it's also in the Austrian and in the European interest to achieve it. If the French block us further, we can do without the French. I'm very angry about Emmanuel Macron, and I hope there will be clarity and wisdom in rejecting his policy also in France, because we need a strong united Europe. That's the presidential palace. I'm always calling here to have also the European flag raised and the NATO flag. That would be very good. And next year will be presidential elections. I will be definitely back here before that. And that's a very beautiful city here. You see, the development is amazing. Beauty everywhere. And that's the government lane here. You see the whole buildings here. It's a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and that's the government district here, basically with the Prime Minister office and with much of these beautiful places. And now here, of course, the opposite of the government district is the famous monument of King Nicola. And I will make another specific statement here and also honor the king, the founder of modern Montenegro. Thanks a lot. More to come from Pax Europiana here from Podgorica. Bye.